day to you. Are you ready to get started? Okay, let's then. As you know, the beverage container recycling program is in full swing. And I hear we have quite the collection. Oh, wow, what a crazy mess. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. What have we here? A juice box? A milk carton? These can be recycled. Amazing, isn't it? Quite a little container. This little guy is able to store and keep liquids fresh for up to 6 months. You know, storing and transporting liquids has always been important. Over time, the types of containers that were used to store, preserve, and transport liquids have really changed throughout history. Then this amazing little invention came along. Juice boxes are made up of so many different layers, giving them the name polycoats. These layers come from renewable and non-renewable sources. What's the difference between renewable and non-renewable? Well, renewable resources can replace themselves or regenerate, like the paper, which comes from trees which regrow. Non-renewable resources cannot be replaced or regrown, like mining aluminum or creating plastics from fossil fuels. Got it? Excellent. So, now, let's look at how these layers work together to preserve the liquid. First, we start with a layer of paperboard, which adds its strength and stiffness, also giving it shape. Next, we add a layer of aluminum. It will prevent light, odors, and oxygen from getting in and spoiling the delightful juice. Finally, we coat the 2 layers with a plastic called polyethylene. This will coat the inner and outer sides of the juice box, preventing the juice from getting out, as well as keeping other liquids from getting in. Oh, my. That's great tasting juice. Oh, yes. Milk cartons are also polycoats and go through the same steps. But because they are refrigerated, they do not need the aluminum layer. Oh, no, not there. Your journey has only just begun. You're going to be recycled. A fussy little thing, isn't he? He's lucky. Polycoats were not always recycled. They used to end up here, a landfill, and not very useful. You see, the paperboard layer will biodegrade, but the plastic and aluminum layers will remain here as waste. This little guy still has lots of life in him. He can be recycled into more juice boxes or even brand new amazing things. So, we learned that polycoats have many layers, and the key to recycling them is to separate the layers and get them back to the raw materials. And now, just like at a recycling depot where they sort all the containers based on the type of material they're made from, we will need to separate the paper from the plastic and aluminum in the juice boxes. But that doesn't happen here. It gets shipped off to different places. And now, here it is, the machine! The one and only hydropulper. The hydropulper is like a giant blender. A conveyor belt will take the chopped up pieces of the polycoats and dump them into the hydropulper while adding water. The blades make a mixing motion that forces the water across the polycoat, beating the paper fibers off the aluminum and plastic layers. Next, all the water is drained and a special filter is used to separate the paper fibers from the aluminum and plastic pieces. They even reuse the water over and over again. And voila! We've separated each type of material. Now, to turn them into something useful. Many of the paper products that you use every day may have come from recycling the paper in juice boxes. Things like toilet paper, paper towels, cardboard boxes, achoo! Oh, pardon me. Even these facial tissues. Oh, that's just the paper. The aluminum and plastic can be reused to generate energy at the mill where the pulp is being created, or it can be used to create all kinds of building materials like roof tiles or even plastic lumber. So, just to recap, juice boxes and milk cartons, aka polycoats, are made up of many layers. We recycle them, then the layers are separated using a hydropulper, leaving us with raw materials we can use to make even more stuff we use every day. Oh, now that's pretty amazing. Now remember when we talked earlier about renewable and non-renewable resources? Well, a juice box is made up of 75% renewable and 25% non-renewable resources. Well, not bad, but scientists, like me, are always looking for ways to cut down the amount of non-renewable resources used. One way is bioplastics. Bioplastics are plastics made from plant and other renewable sources. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. Sugarcane, yes. Sugarcane is one renewable resource being used to create bioplastics. Bioplastics could be used to replace the non-renewable plastics currently found in many beverage containers. Oh my. Now that's refreshing. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Looks like you've collected every beverage container in the school. We definitely have our work cut out for us. Now, where is that recycling bin? Here it is. Let's get these to the recycling depot and start them on their next adventure. I can only imagine what they'll become next.